Hey guys, so I thought I'd do a video for you and I'd mention to you about my group and talk to you about it on Facebook, which is called PowerSymphonic. I've been running a group for I think it's like say 2 years now or three, and I've got over 1,000 members, and it's basically dedicated to the genres of power metal, symphonic metal, opera metal, pirate metal, operatic, neoclassical, adventure metal, fantasy metal, and just basically everything and anything in between, which is like dragons, swords, knights, saving the princess, and that sort of thing. And I've luckily I had a good friend that was managed to do a flag for me, and basically this is the flag for the group, which is if you can see that, which is my Power Symphonic flag, which when gigs are available again, I shall be off the concerts and I will take that with me so I can get it signed, but by some of the power slash symphonic metal bands. I first got into power metal in 2005 because I was what I've got some DVDs called, I'm sure some of you might have heard of them, called Monsters of Metal, and I was flicking through them, and I was looking for Cradle of Filth. I think it was a Ghost in a Fog or something, and the batteries on my remote died, so my DVD player I couldn't flick through, and Hammerfall Bloodbound was the track that was on, and it started to play it, so I couldn't skip the thing. So I sat through it while I was batteries, obviously looking for some. By the end of it, I was hooked, and I was like, "Whoa, what's this?" I thought this is brilliant. Um, then I think it was like 3 days later, I was with a friend, and we'd gone uptown and nosed around HMV at all the records, and I happened to see Hammerfall Chapter 5. I think it was like £15 on CD, and it had not long been released on CD, and I snapped it up like a shot, and I could not get enough of the album. I played it gazillion times, and then I went back on. I wondered what they was. I didn't have internet at the time, so I wondered what the genre was, and I flicked through the Monsters of Metal, and the book tells there's a little bit of paragraph about the band, and it said they were from is it Stockholm, Sweden, and they're power metal, and I was like, now I know the genre, I thought I want more of these, so I went through Monsters of Metal and all the bands that the power metal bands that were on there, and I started to listen to them, and I listened to them all and was like, I need more of this. And then obviously later on in the years, I've been just getting into more and more bands and checking more and more out. And then a couple of years ago, I decided on Facebook, I thought I should do a group so I can show my love for the music. And I was listening to, at the time back then, I was listening to stuff like Judas Priest, Rainbow, Iron Maiden, Ozzy Osbourne, that sort of thing, and I'd heard a couple of songs by Accept and stuff like that, but I didn't know much about it. But then I've been doing my research, because I've been doing it for years, my research, and everybody says about the pioneers of power metal and stuff, but I said the biggest influences for the power metal genre, which most people would agree, is Ronnie James Dio and Rainbow, because of the fantasy lyrics and stuff like that. So singing about dragons and that sort of thing. And then there's obviously his solo stuff, which is Ronnie James Dio, which is a big part of the reason why most of the power metal bands exist. And then some of the other main influences for the genre is Accept, Judas Priest, and of course Iron Maiden. So them are some of the bands that are influences, and stuff like Deep Purple and various stuff, which some of the bands were influenced by them. So and then back in 1980, not, it was the 80s, I don't know, a band came out and done two albums, which everybody says that these albums they're the pioneers of power metal, which I couldn't agree more, because if you want to start from the start, which most people say with power metal, I recommend that you go out and you purchase these two, which is Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1 and 2. Halloween, in my eyes, well, most people will agree, they are the godfathers of power metal. So, they're the ones that started it from its ugly birth, and they're the pioneers, still going. They are incredible live, and they are an absolute treat to see live, and I'll definitely recommend them. But Yeah, because it went through Halloween, and then Kai Henson left Halloween and he formed Gamma Ray. So another brilliant power metal band, another great one that I highly recommend. That's my favourite album, by the way, Land of the Free. And then bands came out like Blind Guardian, Stratovarius, and then it was Angra, and then it was stuff like Sonata Arctica, my all-time favourite power metal band, Hammerfall, and this happens to be my all-time favourite power metal album. And then some of the other bands what I big fans of is I'll show the two of them, and these are to me they're sibling bands because the keyboardist has been in the one band and some of the members are swapped over. You know, so they've been in, some of them have been in both, and that is Dragon Force and Power Quest. I've seen Power Quest 10 times and Dragon Force 5, so really big fan of them too. Highly recommend them too. And then later down the line there was the offshoot of Power Metal, which is Symphonic Metal, which and some people will agree that the godfathers of Symphonic Metal are Therian or Therian, however you pronounce it. Their earlier stuff was more like Death Doom, I believe, and Doom Death and various other things mixed in, but then they changed their style, and ever since it's been symphonic. So they are the godfathers, they're the ones that started it, and then the ones that followed suit. But their earliest, this band, their earliest stuff's power metal, and then the later stuff which from I'm thinking once was that's when they fully went symphonic, and that's Nightwish. That's my favourite Nightwish album. I know the earlier Nightwish stuff is to me I class that as it's power metal and then a bit of symphonic, and they went straight forward symphonic, and then you get the other symphonic bands which came along, which are Within Temptation, Epica, then the newer ones like Delane and Leaves Eyes and various stuff like that. We started implementing like growls, like Epica with the growls vocals, and then Leaves Eyes with the Viking themes and all that sort of stuff. And then along the way was the other offshoot which Tobias Sammet from Edguy formed, which is Avantasia, which they're more like, it's a rock opera, rock/metal opera. So it's got elements of symphonic, elements of prog power, and a bit of everything in it. And yeah, so I just thought I'd talk to you about my group on Facebook, and in the description I will send you a link to my group so you can check it out. We've currently got 1,000+ members, and till the end of the month I'm doing album of the year, which so people can vote for their favourite album of the year, whether it's power metal, symphonic metal, that sort of thing. And so far it's Unleash the Archers are winning at the moment. I think I've got something like 18 votes, so head over there and vote for your favourite album of the year, whether it's power metal, symphonic, neoclassical, or anything that like fits with the group, with that sort of thing. So yeah, so I just thought I'd show a video, and my group's getting bigger and bigger, so feel free to check it out if you love the power metal and the symphonic metal genre and all things in between. So yeah, so thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in the next one. So take care and have a good new year.